Hey, kia ora. Welcome back to another Mind Health Monday episode. My name is Anna, and today we're exploring the power of sleep and how it promotes good health, but particularly helps strengthen our mental and emotional well-being. I don't think I have to convince you that sleep is important. It is vital. If you've got a heartbeat, you know that sleep is absolutely a necessity to surviving as a human being. And when we don't get lots of sleep, we can find ourselves being pretty cranky or emotional, or just being a bit more easily riled up over things that maybe don't have that much significance. And it also makes it way harder for our brains to function, for us to be as productive as we want to be. So sleep is super, super important. And yet I think a lot of us are practicing habits that we don't even realize are sabotaging our sleep. So what's happening in your brain when you're trying to go to sleep is that it's producing melatonin, and that happens when you get into the calm and resting state of mind. And that melatonin is really important. That's what helps you get to sleep, but also keeps you asleep. And often we're doing a bunch of things that's going to interrupt the production of melatonin, and we don't even know it. Sure, you can take supplements, but it is not the same thing as being able to coach yourself into sleeping well. And these habits, if they work for you, are going to promote great sleep for a really long time. I reckon people would pay good money to wake up refreshed and vitalized every single day. I sure as heck would. But these 5 tips are actually the beginning of that process. And so I want to share them with you, and I want to encourage you to write them down and try them out over the next week or two and see if they help you. One of the things that stops the release of melatonin is caffeine. Caffeine's a stimulant, so it keeps us wired. A lot of us know caffeine does that. That's why we have it in the morning, or when we have it at 3 o'clock when we're feeling a bit sleepy and tired. But really, caffeine after midday only disrupting and leaking into your sleep capacity, because it stays in our system for 8 to 14 hours, which is way longer than a lot of us think. And so it's actually disrupting our sleeping ability. So I want to challenge you to get off the coffees or the teas or the energy drinks or even the chocolate after midday and see if that helps you out. The other really helpful fact and point is to have a set bedtime. I know this feels a little bit like being a kid, but actually when you get your body into a rhythm and your body clock knows that sleep is happening soon, it will be promoting that release of melatonin, which you really, really need. The other one, tip number 3, is resolving stress. This is a hard one because I think stress comes at us from a bunch of different areas, but really one of the things is dealing with that to-do list and closing off as many of the things that you need to do as possible, ticking them off so that when you get home you can actually relax. Maybe you're the kind of person who does work late at night. All that's going to do is keep you stimulated because it's producing adrenaline rather than melatonin. So really think about your work schedule or what it is you're doing at night that can start to help you relax rather than rile and rack you up. And so stress is a major thing, and part of my hot tip for this is that when you are going to sleep, I really encourage you to have a notebook by your bed so you can write down the things that are running through your mind and know that, hey, it's on paper and I'm not going to look at that until the morning when I need to get up and start the next day. And so it just helps your brain think, okay, that's taken care of, I'm not going to forget about it. It's a thing I can deal with. So resolving stress and resolving your to-do list is major. Really with that, it's working with ways to reduce the stress in your life, to tick off the to-do list, and for the things that you can't, write them down so they're out of your mind and ready for you for the next day when you get up. And then my 5th and final tip is that avoiding backlit electronic devices is a major habit that is going to help us sleep better. So we know that the light from devices actually stops the production of melatonin. So when we're on our devices, already we're telling our bodies that it's not time for sleep, that we need to stay alert and awake, which can mean we're on there for longer and longer because we're thinking if we watch something, we'll get tired and then we'll just drift off to sleep. But actually, it's stopping the promotion of that crucial hormone that's going to help us sleep. So watching on any device 90 minutes before going to bed is a major disruption to sleeping well as what it is you're engaging with. When you have a great conversation, when you watch something really exciting, maybe an adventure or action movie, or you're reading a good book, all you're doing is producing adrenaline rather than melatonin. So what you watch and when you watch it and what you engage in really does have an effect on on your sleeping ability. So even if there's just one of those things that I can encourage you to take away and have a try with, probably the most important would be the devices. I know it's a hard one, but it turns out melatonin is only produced in the darkness. So when we're on screens, when we've got adrenaline pumping through us, we're not going to be ready to sleep anytime soon. So those are my 5 hot tips: that you're going to avoid caffeine after midday, you're going to have a set bedtime, you're going to resolve your stress and to-do list, you're going to keep a notebook by your bed to write those things down, and you're going to avoid watching screens 90 minutes before you go to bed. Give those a go. Let us know if they're helpful. And there's going to be a lot more that we're going to talk about around the stress side of things, because it's a much bigger conversation. But for now, I'm hoping that those 5 hot tips are going to help you sleep better and wake up feeling refreshed and vitalized for the day ahead, in turn giving you the resilience and the capacity that you need for your mental and emotional well-being every single day. Good luck. Let us know. We'll see you later.